Guys, thanks for joining the channel. I am comparing the iPhone 13 with the iPhone SE 2020. So price-wise, the iPhone 13 is the newest $800 iPhone. It's your go-to device versus the iPhone SE 2020, which is the cheapest iPhone you could get directly from Apple and other retailers. But this is the kicker here. The iPhone SE could also be found for free on certain prepaid carriers, or $50, or all these other price points. You could pay way less. So you could potentially be comparing an $800 device with a free device. So take that with a grain of salt. Let's go ahead and move forward. So one big difference is that the iPhone 13 has 5G. SE is 4G LTE only. The iPhone 13 is 6.14 ounces. SE, very lightweight, 5.22 ounces. It's a very pocketable device too. The iPhone 13 measures in at 5.7 inches tall, 2.8 inches wide, 0.3 inches thin. iPhone SE 2020, 5.45 inches tall, 2.65 inches wide, 0.29 inches thick. So actually the iPhone SE and iPhone 13 are kind of similar in size. They're not humongous phones by any means. Build quality: glass front, glass back aluminum frame on the 13. iPhone SE 2020, glass front, glass back aluminum frame. So similar build quality, very, very nice for both of these. Both of these do have dust and water resistance. The 13 has IP68, which is 6 meters for 30 minutes. IP67 for iPhone SE, up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. One other good thing about both of these devices is that they have an eSIM built in. So that means that you could have two different services, two different data plans, two phone numbers at the same time. And also you could activate the SIM card without actually needing a physical SIM card. So that's pretty surprising. That's a premium feature found on not a lot of devices. iPhones, Samsungs, some higher end Motorola's, and in this case you have an $800 phone and a $400 phone. So that's pretty awesome right there. Some Pixels have it as well. So let's see, for the screen, they both have a 60 hertz refresh rate screen, so that's same thing right there. 6.1 inches on the iPhone 13, 4.7 on the iPhone SE. You have the bezels on top and on the bottom, so you're getting less screen to body ratio on the SE, 65% versus 86 on the iPhone 13. Resolution, the iPhone 13 is better. It gives you 460 ppi versus 326 ppi on the iPhone SE. For the software, iPhone 13 is going to launch with iOS 15. iPhone SE, iOS 13, upgraded to 14, and it will get iOS 15. That's kind of a tie right here because they're all going to run the same software, regardless of the price, regardless of flagship. It's going to be the same on both of these. All the apps will run exactly the same on both of these. They will update at the same time, and they get several years of updates in the future. Chipset: A15 Bionic on the iPhone 13, A13 on the SE. Both are speedy, but obviously the 13 will be just a tad bit speedier, and it will last longer in the years to come versus the SE. But very surprising, $800 flagship versus a lower end price point iPhone. So yeah, you're getting this, the same great performance pretty much. Storage options: iPhone 13 has 128, boosted from 64 gigs on the previous model, and now the iPhone SE is stuck at 64 gigabytes. And none of these have expandable storage, obviously. RAM has been boosted from 4 to 6 on the 13, while the iPhone SE has 3 gigs of RAM. Both of these are good enough for iOS regardless. You probably won't see the big difference unless you have lots of games, but you will see the difference later down the line with the iPhone 13, obviously. Camera: iPhone 13, 2 cameras on the back, 12 megapixel shooter main, 12 megapixel ultra wide. iPhone SE, 1 single 12 megapixel shooter, both shooting 4K. Both of these have great cameras, but the iPhone 13 is just going to be better quality. But at that price point of $400 or free, if you get a prepaid, the iPhone SE delivers a quality camera. Way better than a lot of Android phones at that price point. But the overall winner is a 13 with the camera. Selfie camera, 12 megapixel shooter on the 13, 7 on the SE, 4K on the 13, 1080 on the SE. You won't notice too much of a difference, but overall better quality in the iPhone 13 selfie. Both have stereo speakers, neither have a headphone jack. Both have Bluetooth 5.0, that's for to connect to your wireless headphones, your wireless headphones, your wireless speakers, your smartwatches, all that good stuff. Lightning port for charging on both of these. You got Face ID on the iPhone 13. You still have that old school front mounted fingerprint reader, the home button with Touch ID. That's probably the last model to ever have this. But they're both reliable ways to open up your device. Battery on the iPhone 13 is going to get way better battery than the iPhone 12. It's just improved with a bigger battery inside. We don't know the milliamp yet. The iPhone SE has terrible battery life. Small battery in general, 1800 milliamps. It's not going to get you, barely get you half a day of use. Both of these do have fast charging, 20 watts on the 13, 18 watts on the SE, 50% charge in 30 minutes. And you get wireless charging on the SE, but you get MagSafe on the iPhone 13. So we went through all the specs of both these devices, and although the iPhone 13 is clearly the better device, but it is more expensive. If you pick up the iPhone SE, it's still going to be a great device. It's going to run pretty much 99% of all the things that the iPhone 13 has, except the battery life is what kills it, and it has an old school look to it. Other than that, both of these are great devices, even at the respective price points. Well, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.